We're back for more plant chores. So I have a lot of propagations to do and repotting, and I also want to make trellises. I was thinking of doing like one video dedicated to a trellis I'm going to make for one of my Hoya propagations. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put that in with this video or make it separate yet. But for right now, I have more emergencies that I have to take care of. Of course, like it never ends. For some reason, my Hoyas have been going downhill. Not all of them, just a few. So last video, if you saw my plant drawer video, you saw that my grapes, my Hoya grapes, started to get root rot, and I tried to save it. I put it inside of a plastic container, this one right here. So I still have the stem in here. It looks totally brown, like it's probably dead, but I'm just gonna leave it in there just in case because the roots still look like they're white. I was on my way out when I decided to take a look inside and I noticed that the leaves were like totally rotted. So here's the video of what it looked like. It's kind of gross, but I took those out, I threw them away. So I guess that is not a good way to propagate Hoya leaves, putting it into a container with 100% humidity and cutting it in half like that. So I have been told that it is possible to propagate Hoya leaves like without a node, and I wanted to try it. So like this method, I guess, just doesn't work. But I have two more leaves of another Hoya that I'm going to try to propagate, and I'm going to do it in pond, but like in the air so that it doesn't get all like rotted and moldy like the ones sitting here. But I was so confused when the grapes died on me. I thought that maybe I had overwatered it before I went on vacation, and that could have been the case. But now I'm kind of wondering if it's something else. So I don't want to blame like the seller because like these next two Hoyas are from the same seller, and I don't want to blame the seller for like the soil or whatever substrate she uses. Like I should have repotted it a long time ago, but I've been so busy and I've had to take care of other plant things. So this is my Globulosa, and if you've seen my other videos, you would have seen it in its full form. It had 3 leaves, and it was this tall. But then one of the leaves dropped off, and then today another one just dropped off. So the first leaf that dropped off, you would have seen me try to propagate that with my grapes, and that totally rotted. I took that out. But this one just came off today, and you can see in the middle of the stem there is starting to brown. So that makes me think that it could be root rot, but honestly, I have not changed the way that I've been watering this since I got it. So maybe it's the systemic because I have not been using that the entire time. I just recently I started using systemic in here. Maybe it's that, or I wonder if the pH has changed in here because this is a closed container. So I wish I had a way to check that, but I can't. So I'm just gonna do my best with the situation that I'm in. I'm going to, I don't know if I'll be able to save this. Maybe I can cut the rotted part off and then just plop this on top of pond and see if roots grow out of it. Maybe. I was told that leaves, it takes about 6 months for them to propagate. I just want to try it. And then I'm going to definitely have to take this out and rinse off the roots and take a look at the roots and see how they're doing. So when I cut this, there was a little bit of sap on this. I'll show you a video of it because I did take video of it. This happened just this morning. So this was the middle part that I just cut off, and there was sap. So I feel like maybe there's a chance to save this node and possibly the bottom part. This was the top part of the plant, and it started growing 2 new leaves and a peduncle, but then it just dried up. And like it's weird, like feeling the stem right now, like it feels like it's dead. It's so weird that I can feel that. Like I don't know, it just feels like empty and hollow. It's like it's very strange, but there was no sap. When I cut this off, there was no sap. So I wonder if maybe this part of the plant is dead and maybe it's not going to propagate, but I'm still going to try just in case there's a little bit of life left in there. But I'm going to let this sit out overnight today, and I'll propagate it tomorrow so it can scab over. Same with this middle part. But the same thing happened with my Nova Ghost. So the other day, and I will show you a video of that because I was on the way out with that one too. I didn't have time to sit down and like make a video of it, but I was able to capture snippets of it. But there's my Nova Ghost. So I cut it apart, and every part that I cut this, there was no sap. So I wonder if there's any hope of propagating this, but I'm still gonna try because the leaves are still green. And I don't know, I just feel like plants can be so resilient, and I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope and see if this thing can be revived. And then here are the two leaves that kind of just fell off, and it looked like they were rotted. I think I have a video of that also. And so I snipped off the part that was like brown and rotted because I don't want it to spread. And I let these sit out overnight. So I cut these yesterday, and so I'm going to propagate these today. But that's what they look like right now. So it's just like a brown scab. So I'll go ahead and start doing that, and I'll show you guys a close up. My poor Globulosa. I love this plant. It was doing so well. But this is my propagation station that I'm going to use for my Nova Ghost. And the pond is already in here, but I need to give space for the plant. And I'm just going to propagate all of them in the same container. And I'm just going to lay the leaves like just right on top like that. So the roots, if any roots come out, they'll just grow into the pond. And my cabinet, I think, is at about 50% humidity right now. So hopefully the moisture from the air will feed the leaves, and also the evaporation coming up from the bottom. And we'll see if that's going to root. But there was zero sap in here in the stems when I cut them. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to survive or no? Like, let me know what you think down below. I really hope it does. Oh my gosh. These feel so super limp, but I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic. At the same time, I'm not expecting too much. And let me just say that now having about 8 months experience with Hoyas and testing them out in the pond and then like leaving a lot of them in like their original substrates, I'm really coming to love pond for Hoyas. So I don't know that pond is necessarily the best substrate for like all plants, but when it comes to Hoyas, it is like really working for me. Like, I feel like it's not just a bunch of like inert rocks that don't do anything for the plant. Like the zeolite helps balance the pH, and the same with the black lava rocks. And there's also like minerals in the lava rocks, and like just the way that they hold moisture but also give lots of aeration. And it's easy for me to tell when it's dry. Like it's like the best substrate for me, like so far. I am gonna experiment with tree fern fiber. So I'm getting that delivered soon. I bought it off of Amazon because I bought a couple of Hoyas from some sellers on Facebook Marketplace, and they use tree fern fiber mixed with perlite, and that seems to be pretty nice. Like the Hoyas in that substrate are growing really, really well. So I kind of just want to experiment like mixing the tree fern fiber in, maybe just like at the surface, like the top, and like let it sprinkle down. But let me get this thing watered and put it into my cabinet, and then I want to show you my curtisii, the one that I had propagated. It's doing really well, and I think it has graduated from the cabinet. I'm going to take it out and replace it with this. All right, so I gave my Nova Ghost some Super Thrive solution, and it's tucked away in its new home in the cabinet. And here is my curtisii, my Hoya curtisii. So if you saw one of my previous planter videos, this thing was in a bigger pot and I had it in a self-watering system and a mushroom grew out of the pot. And I was so grossed out by it that I decided to propagate it because I was afraid I was gonna like be too scared to take care of the original plant because the mushroom just like freaked me out. So I propagated it and I used pon and I put this in my cabinet. And look at that long vine right there. It was much shorter. It was actually, I can see right there the little tiny thread that's coming out right there. That was the tip. And so this new vine here, that's a new shoot that came off. So that's what has grown so far. So this is doing quite well. And I cannot see the roots from the surface, like on the outside, but I'm pretty sure there's roots in there because I don't know that it would grow this much if there weren't any roots in there. But I feel like this is gonna be okay if I leave it out of the cabinet from now on. I'm gonna put it on my shelves behind me here, which is where I had the original plant. And I do still have the original mother plant, and that is downstairs in my living room. And that is doing quite well also. So that one has grown longer vines, and I'm probably going to propagate even more from there because I'm still grossed out by the soil of that plant. I want to put as many of the propagations as I can into the bee pond, but also my new tree fern fiber mix that I'm going to be making. And I also did get a trellis that I wanted to use with this plant, so I'll have to be doing that later in the future also. Another update that I have is my retusa. So this one originally was in a soil mix, and I don't like that soil mix. I'm sure it's great. It works for the seller, but like I just don't understand it. Like it just looks so dry. Like I'll water it and it looks like it's like dry the very next day, and I don't know if I'm supposed to water it or not. And so I just leave it and let it be dry for like ever. But it keeps getting yellowing leaves and then they just like keep like falling out. So um, I'm glad that I propagated this. So I have two propagations that I got from that plant. This one was in the cabinet and it has already grown new leaves. And I was worried about this one because the stem was so short and it was like barely in the pond. So I don't know, you probably can't see it, but it was like a little tiny nub right almost at the surface of the pond. And now it has a long, super long root and it's like green and white. So I don't know if you can see that in there, but I'm so proud of this plant. And I will keep this one in the cabinet and just let it live there for as long as it fits. The other one I have on my bathtub, I can't see the roots, but that one is like buried way in the middle. So I'm sure it has roots, I just can't see them. That one also has shot out new leaves. So they are both doing well outside of the cabinet and inside. So I probably don't need to like grow this in the cabinet, but I just want to see over time if there's a difference, if this one is going to grow larger than the one that's outside or not. And I have another update. So I wasn't planning to turn this into an update video, but I've got some happy things happening. So this is so funny. This is probably like the very first propagation that I did in one of my very first videos ever. And it was of my Cebu blue pothos. And I was trimming the thing and I was like trying to experiment with propagating the leaves and like just the vine without leaves. So the leaves, I guess you cannot propagate without a node when it comes to pothos. But this vine does have nodes on it. And I tried different ways of propagating it and they weren't working. So I put it in my cabinet and just left it in there and it's in pon and I was using Super Thrive and nothing was happening. Like it started shooting out a tiny leaf, but then it was like it stayed like that forever and ever and nothing, it wasn't moving. So I thought it was dead. So I took it out of my cabinet and I just put it on top of the cabinet. I was like, okay, I'll just deal with this later. And I just left it there. It dried up. And I was like, oh, there's just like a carcass up there and I just need to deal with it. And I just didn't have time to deal with it. And then all of a sudden, one day, I saw this shoot coming out. and it was like bone dry in there. It was so crazy. Like I had not watered it. It was like under the fan. It's like all this, like the draft was just like so strong. And like there it is. It's alive and it shot out a new leaf. Look, and it's starting to unfurl. I'm so proud of this thing. And I do think that this new leaf is growing a little bit more. Like it was much smaller. It might have been like half the size before. So I guess that is also doing something. Ooh, and there's even a second leaf coming out, shooting out from there. Oh my gosh. Plants are so cool. They're so resilient and they're so interesting to me. I love it so much. But that's fun. I can't wait for this baby to grow out, and I'm definitely going to repot it once it starts growing a little more. But I'm just going to keep this up on top of the cabinet where it has been sprouting and seems to be happy there. All right, so now it's time to deal with this, my Globulosa. I need to take it out and look at the roots, see what's happening in there. So I'm just gonna pour all of this out into this gunky cup. So I guess it's soil and then leca on top. It's feeling pretty dry. There's a lot of roots. They look still pretty good. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to rinse this off. I'm gonna put some hydrogen peroxide in here, just in case it's root rot, which I don't think it is actually. I actually do not think it's root rot. I just need to clean off whatever this is. I wonder if this is tree fern fiber. Like the roots and the stem, they look okay. This one stem looks like it's starting to brown there, but it's like happening at the petiole, and it doesn't seem to be coming from, like, I don't know, I really can't tell. So I am thankful that the roots actually do look healthy. So I don't really know what's going on with this plant. So I wonder if it's either the pH or too much systemic. Like I have no idea, but I'm going to try to save this plant. And I've got myself some clean pon. And I cut slits at the bottom. I can't find my reamer for some reason. So I just use my scissors to cut slits. And I definitely want to have drainage for this plant. I don't know why it seems like the stems started dying from the top. If anyone out there has any idea like why that happens, I'd love to know. Just so I can prevent it from happening again in the future. And I don't see any pests. Like I've been told that if a plant's health starts to decline, you should check for pests. And I don't see anything. Like I don't see mealybugs on the leaves or in the roots. There's definitely no spider mites. I don't see any signs of pests. So there are some roots like exposed to the air. I'm just gonna keep it like that. I think there are plenty of enough roots down in the bottom. So I'm gonna give this a drink of water and I will give it Super Thrive. And that's another thing I love about Pon. I don't have to worry about using the systemic. It's like the gnats, I don't think they can live in the pond. So, I mean, that's perfect for me. That's the ideal situation. If I don't have to use any kind of pesticide to get rid of gnats because the substrate is like naturally resistant to the pest, like it just feels like a no-brainer to me. So I've soaked it with my Super Thrive solution, and then whatever was in the cache, I poured out because I don't want the roots like touching the water. I'm just leaving a little tiny bit at the bottom because the roots only go up to like right there. So the water is going to be like just at the bottom. And I am going to put this in my cabinet. So here's another plant that has graduated from the cabinet. This is my Hoya Sunrise. And I only had it in there just to help it grow. And it has grown. When I first got this cutting, it was only like these two leaves, these big ones, and then like the ones that are buried down there. So all of these there's a 2, 4, 6, 6 brand new leaves that have come out since it's been in the cabinet. And I think this is gonna do okay if I just leave it out. I definitely do want to change out the substrate. I want to try to get all my Hoyas into pond. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it, make sure that it does okay. And I think I might cut off, I don't know, a couple of nodes and propagate it. Just to put them in pond, like to have a fresh start, but also so I can like have a more full plant once I put them all together in the same pot. And I just now noticed there's some kind of like shiny residue on the leaf. And I'm afraid to touch it because I know that Hoyas are toxic. And if that's some kind of like, what do you call it? Not sap, but nectar maybe coming from the leaf. I don't know if that happens with Hoyas or not. I heard that they do drip something, nectar, but I thought it came from the flowers. But I was just wondering if anyone knows what that is. I don't want to touch it to see if it's sticky because I don't want to irritate my skin. But I'm just gonna leave this over on the shelves behind me in its new home. Next up, I need to try to save my curly spider plant. So I got advice from one of you. Thank you so much. That's so helpful. So I see that there's at least one shoot that might be okay, like viable, or two maybe. Two that I can possibly save. So I'm gonna unpot this thing, and you had told me that you have it in a self-containing semi-hydro setup, I believe. So I will try to put this in pond, but like in a closed container, and then just keep the water level below the roots, just like you told me. I'm gonna try it out because I do love this plant. Like all the plants I had on that list, like I love all the plants. It's just that I feel bad when they die, and that's why I don't want to buy them anymore. But if I can figure out how to take care of it, I definitely want to keep it. And I've decided maybe I will probably give this distilled water, since I have to use distilled water anyways for my Venus flytrap. And because this is in soil, I do not want to take this apart in my room. I'm gonna have to do it outside, even though it is like 100 something degrees, I think. But I'll do it for my baby plant. That's what it looks like. I've got two little plants there. They are stuck together, and I'm going to keep it that way. So it's actually not too bad outside right now. It's a little bit breezy, and I can say breeze because it doesn't feel scorching hot. And especially in the shade, like it's not that hot right now. But I didn't want to film this because I just didn't feel like taking my camera out there and like setting the whole thing up. So I took off the soil. I have not cleaned it yet. I am going to use hydrogen peroxide again with this. So I just need to fill up my bowl with some water. All right, so I clean up the bowl. Here's some more hydrogen peroxide. My little plants, their roots have dried up. It might be suffering from dry rot right now because I saw it dying and I was like, oh my gosh, it's root rot. So I stopped watering it completely. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. The roots look terrible. So I was told that spider plants do not like chemicals. I hope this hydrogen peroxide is not going to finish it off. I just feel like I need to disinfect it just in case there's bacteria from the root rot. And I was going to use a cup. Where did it go? Okay, I'm going to use pond. And I've decided I'm not going to try to propagate this Globulosa leaf because it looks pretty bad all over. It's like browning all over the leaf. I don't think there's anything I can do for it. I'm running out of pond. I need to buy some more ingredients and make a new batch. Okay, so I was told to keep the water level below the roots, which means I probably need to keep it up this high. I wonder if I should use perlite for now. All right, I'm just gonna use my leftover stuff because I'm running out of pond. But I have these Leca clay balls. I'll just put these at the bottom. And these have not been soaking because I have not been using them. Like, I don't really like using Leca clay balls. I might try to use them for one of my philodendrons in the future just to test it out and see how it is. But for right now, like, it's not really my favorite substrate. And then I have this leftover perlite that has already been rinsed off for previous projects. And I also stopped using perlite because I don't like that either. But here we go. Okay. I'll finish it off with pond just so that it can cover all the roots. There it is. So I guess I shouldn't give it super thrive, and I don't have anything to dechlorinate my water. So what should I do? Just give it regular water for now? I guess some water is better than nothing. Yeah, I'll just give it sink water for right now, and then I've run out of distilled water. I have to go get some. Or should I just leave it dry? I'll give it water. So I had planned to pot my snow-capped begonia in the pond, but I ran out of pond, so I can't do that today. I really want to hurry up and do it because it's starting to lose one of its leaves. It's been in this water forever, and the roots look black. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I wonder if I should just use the rest of the pond right now because this is worrying me. I think begonias are like super resilient and hardy plants, but I don't think any plant can survive root rot. All right, so I'm going to clean this also in this hydrogen peroxide solution, just the roots. And, oh, so there went that leaf. And this one was always cracked like that. So that's what it's looking like on the back. The other leaves feel healthy. So let me just get this in some pond. So definitely I'm still learning how to take care of plants. When I first started my journey, I knew nothing. I had zero green thumb. So I'm just learning as I go along. And luckily, I did not pay too much money for this begonia. And I see the seller like putting listings up for these all the time. So if I do lose this, which I hope I don't, I can always get another one from her. And she doesn't charge too much, so I'm grateful for that. Because I have seen these online. The variegated snow-capped with the pink leaves, so expensive. But she sells them for only $35. That's not bad. So I do believe this is my second most expensive plant in my collection right now. I do love it. I can't say it's my favorite plant. I don't even know if it's one of my favorite plants or not, because I actually like the other begonia a little bit more than this, maybe. It's so huge. But this one is delicate and cute. And of course I love pink. Pink leaves. I used to not like pink leaves at first, but they have grown on me. So a lot of the plants on my wish list, I want them because of the pink. Pink variegation. All right, so I found more pond. I borrowed it from my mini monstera. So I tried to save it. This is the mother, and it's not doing too good. But luckily, the two cuttings that I got from it are thriving. So it was the sphagnum moss. I heard online, someone said that the pH of sphagnum moss changes over time. So sphagnum moss is great for propagating plants. And there was a woman who did an experiment with 6 different substrates. Sphagnum moss won. It was like the best substrate to root plants. Like they all rooted fastest and the most in sphagnum moss, like across all the plants that she did. But I would not recommend keeping your plants in sphagnum moss over time, because this plant started to decline, the health started to decline, and I'm guessing it was because of the pH. So I don't know how to regulate that just yet. I think there are products that you can purchase to do that, but I'm not there in my journey yet. So I am using Pond to help me with that. It's fast and easy. So my little begonia is all potted up in the pond. I need to give it some water. And here is my mini monstera. This was the top cutting, and this one is the healthiest. It's got the most leaves right now and the most fenestrations. One of them, yeah, this one has 6 splits on the leaf. But the ones growing out, the new ones have only 5, but it's looking pretty healthy. There's a new leaf coming out right there. And I also do have this in pond, so it seems to be doing great, just fine in pond. And it's so easy for me to check the water levels and the dryness of it. It's working out so far, so hopefully it continues to. And here is the other one. So this was the mid cutting, and it is also growing new leaves. So there's actually a new shoot coming out right there. So I had cut right there, and then I guess when you do that, it grows out a new vine. So there's that one growing out. And there's also a tiny little nub right there. So I don't know exactly what that is. At first, when this one was coming out, I thought it was a root because it was white and fuzzy, but then it turned into this. So I don't know if that's going to be a root or another shoot or a leaf or whatever, but I'm happy that it's there. So I'm going to have to end this for now. I have a lot of cleanup to do and I've got to take care of my kids. So I don't know if I should end it here for this week because last time I made a video that was super long. I think it was like an hour and a half. So maybe that's too long. Maybe I should shorten these videos. So yeah, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll stop it here and keep it short. And you guys let me know what you think. Do you like it shorter or longer or medium? But if you're here and you watched it and you made it to the end, thank you so much for being with me and supporting me. I do believe I have over 250 subscribers right now, so that's amazing. I'm so happy that you guys have decided to join me and you're allowing me to share my experience with you. And thank you so much. Like anytime you guys have advice for me, like I am so grateful. I am so open to constructive criticism and like any kind of advice that you have for my plants because I am on a new plant parent journey. I am still learning all the time. So whatever you guys think is going to help my plants thrive and survive, I'm here for it. But before I completely end it, I want to show you an update on my ceramic studio if you are interested in that. So those of you who are here also for my ceramics journey, I got a couple of new things. I got a brand new wheel and I got it for free. Oh my gosh, it's so cool and it's massive. My microphone died and I got cut off. But anyways, I was saying that it is a kick wheel. So it's kind of primitive feeling to me. So it doesn't run by electricity. I have to like kick it. So that's going to be interesting. I also got a brand new heavy duty steel table from Facebook Marketplace. So I can't get one of the legs on because there's no like screw things, holes. I don't know. I think when the seller sold it to me, he had it in a different configuration, like mixed together with other tables. So it's like not fitting together right for me. So I'm gonna have to like get a power drill and put holes in it and like somehow get it together. But once I do, it's gonna be a great table. It's so sturdy and big and it'll be perfect for wedging my clay. So let me just show you now. All right, so here's my kick wheel. It's pretty big. So my foot goes here and then I just like kick it like that and it turns the wheel. Oh, this is one of my porcelain pots that I made. It's a cover pot. I did this with slabs, not on the wheel. And there's my tools. And then here's my table. So this right here, I'm not able to secure onto the tabletop because it's missing like these metal things. These, it's like totally missing, so I can't screw it in. I did get the other side in though, so that's secure. So I cannot wait to get this done so I can start making my pottery. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week and enjoy your plants.